Is Tony coming?
I don't know if he is.
Okay.
The meeting's now being recorded. So anytime you want to call it to order.
Let's call the meeting to order. Do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just so everybody understands, the meeting's being recorded. It will be uploaded to YouTube. And we have a link that we share with all the boards and commissions to view all the videos that we're taking. Okay. You do not have a quorum, so at this point, so you can discuss things and not vote on any, which you know. I'm saying that more for the public than for you, Charlie.
Right.
Okay.
So we do have an audience of citizens here. We have Boston. Sarah. And he is an Eagle Scout that has contacted Steve Wood about doing some work over at the Ledge Cemetery. He has a program that he's putting together and he's here to give us some information.
So I have
All yours, my friend.
I have a presentation. I should show that anywhere.
Can you hook up this presentation to your? I'm getting high tech here.
Usually what would have to happen, Austin, is you would have to send me the file and then I can share it.
Yeah, I can do that if you.
I made it as far as we blow Austin.
He still has a flip phone.
Nothing wrong with that.
That right. I think that I can just go over here and then just talk throughout the presentation. Okay, so here's just the details of the project. So what there's currently a large tree stump that's dislodging one of the pillars at the Ledge Cemetery. And then the brick column actually, I've now looked at it, it needs to be dismantled and then rebuilt with the tree stump. And after bringing the mason, like my grandfather on the site to about and 500 bricks would be needed. And the current bricks cannot be cleaned off enough because the hard mortar is really holding them together, which means that they cannot be reused to build the pillars. They can, however, be used to build another project if the town wants them. And then so the town indicated at the initial meeting, Mr. Calusi, who informed me that the town would be taking care of clearing and powder coating the gates.
We said we'd like to get it.
Yeah.
If you couldn't get them done, then we would have to do it.
Mainly needs to be done with this, the pillars need to be dismantled. And then I'm gonna request the help of other scouts to dismantle the pillars. And then the foundation needs to be dug. And then I don't know if that, I'm gonna figure out how that needs to be done as well. So I need to also find the bricks and the mortar. And then a famed mason will be needed to rebuild. And the building the pillars estimated by my grandfather is around a 2-day project. And then I need to just find the dimensions of the bricks or where to fundraise money to buy them. So then, would the town be digging the hole for the foundation, or would I be in charge of?
We'll find a way.
Okay. And then the filling the foundation would be the concrete. Then would that be the town, or should I look into that? And so
A lot of the times, Home Depot or Lowe's will donate it.
okay. So that could I'll find that out from Home Depot and Lowe's. And then, so the town, would the town have any funds to pay Mason, or should I go and find funds on my own and fundraise and those kind of things to pay a Mason? Do that.
I would suggest you do that first.
Okay.
I believe that's how the Eagle Scout works. You're supposed to try and get everything donated.
Yeah.
And when you put your program together and you come back, you have to present this to the council too. They have to approve it. And when you come back with everything that you were able to obtain, Then we'll sit down and see what we'll provide to finish the project. That sound okay?
Yeah, yep. And then also, another thing was the town could probably end up also taking the other bricks there if they would want them. Then the scouts and I could probably, or I could just do it on my own, try to clean them up as much as possible for other projects at the town.
Sure.
And that's pretty much far from there. Out to them like Lowe's and Home Depot and different organizations trying to find out materials, ways to obtain them.
Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Austin, find out from your grandfather, what are those pillars about 4x4?
I actually have them written down on. I had them. The pillars were, the height of them was 5 feet 4 inches, and then the width of them was 21 inches.
21 square, right?
Yeah.
So, now, find out from your grandfather's a mason.
Yeah.
Find out what we need, how many yards of concrete he would need for both of those foundations. Right? And then, like Mr. Calaricci, you know, let me know. I might be able to have short loads take care of that foundation. Short load. Right, so let me know. Can't be much.
I'll call them up right after.
All right, thank you. So when you get all your stuff together, you can come back to us first. We'll make sure, you know, everything's covered. And then we'll set up a meeting with the council. We'll have to present it to the council, I'll have to approve it. Let's throw it, stamp it. And then we can get to work. That sound good?
Yeah.
Everybody else? That's great.
So Austin, you're gonna have to submit, usually there's a form that the code foundation do, but that the town manager, right? And then from the town manager, if it's the department that needs to sign on it, then it's sent over there, and then it, Chairman said it goes to the council, final approval. So it does take a little bit of time. You know when you might start in all this?
Hopefully, so I'm looking to build it in the spring probably because the winter. I'm probably gonna start like trying to gain all the materials throughout the winter, work on outsourcing all the different things needed, and then hopefully start building it sometime in the spring.
Right, normally council meets twice a month. Everything has to be counted for the, everything has to be to me by the Tuesday before the council meeting, right? And I'm gonna give you my name and everything, so if you have questions, you can call me, right? And then, but what we also just want to be careful about is sign off from any other departments.
You're gonna wait and do demolition just before you start construction. You're not gonna do that in advance.
Probably not too far. in advance.
Wait until we get your approval. Council. I mean, I was just gonna say, let's go take the keys off and get them powder coated and all that. Somebody to do that, but we can't do that.
If you want to send a case to like Paul Welding or Kenson Welding to have a couple of those things straightened out for us. So another idea is to visit either Paul Welding or Kenson Welding. I know Paul Welding has done a lot of work.
Paul Welding did all the railings for us under the depot. His charges for the material. Plus the boys are from town. They're over on Kelsey Street in Millington. You went all the way up, you know where Christian Lane is, right? Go all the way out to the bridge. Right? There's a gas station across the street. It's a little farther down on the right side. Go Paul is the corner.
Another factory that just opened right before the bridge on Garland Street in East Brown, right across from Stanton County. So he might maybe look at his name out there as well.
And if you need any more contacts, get hold of one of us.
Yeah. Thank you for your interest in doing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, does anybody else have anything for Austin? No?
Amazing.
Okay. Okay. You got any questions for us?
No.
Okay. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. You don't want to hear it stay up here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I sent you my email and my cell phone number.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Austin.
Good night. Hey, do we have the minutes of the February meeting?
Yeah, I sent you them. Do you need them?
Yeah. Probably read them because I don't remember. Where?
Vote out of anyway.
Well, we can read it, it's just to let us know what we were talking about. So these are the meetings of the Thursday, February 20th, 2020. Meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. Members present were Dick Benson, Ross Calarisi, Ed Horncall Jr., Stephen Kastuzik, Barbara Cisnet. Members absent, Steve Bell. Called to order. Vice Chairman Calarisi called the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Calarisi moved the seat, alternate Cisnet. Seconded by Mr. Horncall. Voting in favor, those voting in favor, Mr. Benson, Mr. Calarisi, Mr. Kastuzik, voting 4-0. Motion carried. Rights of citizens, none. Election of officers. Mr. Kastuzik nominated Charles Calarisi as chairman, seconded by Mr. Horncall. Those voting in favor, Mr. Benson, Mrs. Nanick, Calarisi, Mr. Hort, I couldn't vote. Voting 5-0.
Of course you can.
Dick Benson is vice chairman, seconded by Mr. Horncall. New business, the budget. There was a public board of finance meeting on Monday, March 2nd, 2020, when the townwide budget will be presented. There will also be a board of finance public hearing on March 31st, 2020, to review the proposed budget prior to time. Mr. Benson moved to adjourn at 6:17, seconded by Mr. Overall.
Charlie, you missed a page. It was on the back of that first page.
Oh, geez, I was going, where the hell are you going with it?
See, he wanted to know if we were paying attention, Dick.
Yeah, I was wondering how many voted Benson in, but.
I think he tried to abstain as well.
Yeah. Those voting in favor of Mr. Benson, Mr. Benson didn't vote for himself either, but.
Of course he should.
Okay. Minutes approved for the January 16th meeting. Mr. Benson moved to approve the December 19th meeting. Second by Mr. Horncall. Those voting in favor, Benson says that. You see Horncall passed Tuesday, 5-0. Correspondence, no old business. Dunham Tree Works, still waiting for appropriate weather to perform work at Dunham. Mowing, Town Council approved the recommended 3-year contract with vendor Central Connecticut Lawn Service. Potter's Field, new sign has been installed at the entry to Potter's Field. Denison, broken corner of fence has been repaired. Part of the tree fell on the fence, damaging the corner and causing sharp metal pieces to jut from the fence, damaging the corner, to jut into the cemetery. The fallen log was cut down and the fence repaired the damaged area. Cleanup of trees and brush between the river and bank of cemetery will be challenging as the area is very steep. Ground staff will try to remove logs from high ground when possible. Dunham fencing, Superintendent Wood has been unable to obtain pricing for a snake rail fence at Dunham Cemetery. He hasn't found a vendor in the state that offers the fencing material. Mr. Pastor read online about a vendor in East Hampton. They carried it for half the Elliott fencing. Chairman colleagues will research further. The group discussed the possibility of using split rail planks laid out on snake rail pattern, utilizing metal stakes to secure the planks where they cross. Okay, surprise. And then in the budget, we just talked about. So, those are the minutes. We can approve them because we don't have a quorum, but now we know what we talked about. So, old business. When it comes to the fencing, I did go up to that place in East Hampton. And I got some prices it was a Southern Pine. I have the gentleman's name and all, and I'm sure the prices have changed because I know lumber went crazy with this COVID and all that. Pressure treated lumber did all that, so we'll have to get some prices, but at the time, it was gonna be $12.65 for an 11-foot section. And I figured we needed 180 feet times 3, because we were gonna do 3 high. So that was 540 pieces, and it was gonna come out to about 683. 180 feet. See, as far as that other old business. Yes, that was all fixed. Okay, that was old business. Any report from the public grounds team?
Under old business, yes. New contractor. Doing cemeteries, he started off a little slow this year. Cemetery police were nice enough to identify a couple of things that he missed. After that, he fired several of his employees.
Really?
And he has been in mowing them personally himself throughout the course of the summer. And I think everything has gone really well and looks fantastic this year. He's in filling a couple of cemeteries. I know he did Wilcox on Tuesday, and that was spotless. I reminded him about cleaning outside of Ledge this year and also Christian Lane and Demi Road. So I believe he has not completed all of them, but we asked him to start later in the season doing leaves instead of so early. So instead of coming in the beginning of November, he's coming towards the latter end of it when more of the oaks and everything have dropped. So what's happened in years past is he comes in because it's not specified in the contract between the 15th and the 30th. It pretty much says one time during the month of November, which we can revisit in 3 years from now if we so choose. But with that being said, if the leaves drop early, then we get snow, he doesn't have to, he's not required to come back in. So we kind of leave it at will, but we ask him to just wait until later on. And I think he did a great job. We've had a lot of, you want me to go into the fence damage under the new business with you guys, or do you want me to do it?
That's probably new business because of the storm.
So that concludes Parks and Grounds.
I concur with what the superintendent said. Matter of fact, my phone has been ringing and getting complaints because the ancient section looks perfect and the section that our contractor does looks shitty. And so, the contractor is doing it.
Okay. Under new business, we got our budget. We've got a total of $28,735. We are forum, decided we were gonna spend that, but we have talked to Steve and Victor and myself about a lot of the tree trimming. We know it's gonna be expensive.
Same amount last year, right?
Well, we didn't have $28,000 last year.
We work funky year, we the fiscal year. Our year doesn't start till July.
July 1st, we had this money. We spent like 15 grand the year before.
We're gonna have a problem, and I have to talk to finance about it, because the budgets are due by, November 30th.
For next July?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Kind of people here.
Yeah,
How can you vote in the budget?
we got till December 31st, we got
November.
December meeting.
We got till next Monday.
When did the change take place?
It's always been, it's usually, usually what they do is they ask for it from the departments and the boards and the commissions in November. And because this is a smaller commission, I can ask if we can wait until December. I mean, worst case scenario, I guess you just submit what you had before.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think what we got last year.
Okay. I don't know what else you do.
That's fine, the same amount,
All right.
make it simple.
Oh.
It's an amazing, and I have to agree with you that people don't understand how early the departments have to submit their.
It's January or February.
Yeah. Hard because you're projecting 8 months, history or something. So it is hard, but it is an early submittal. And then December is when you would have a meeting with the managers if appropriate. And then the Board of Finance starts everything in March. The town manager has until the March 1st to submit his budget to the Board of Finance.
Well, that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna submit for the same amount. We also have that grant, right, for 3,300 and change?
Yes,
Oh,
and that's on the agenda too.
yes. All right, well, we had our presentation. Boston. Okay, next would be reviewing the damage of Lead Cemetery from the windstorm. Steve and Dick and myself were out there when we met with Austin. And, we found 2 more trees that fell down. There's gotta be some more trimming done in there, so. When we can get the trimmers in there, we'll start on that, see?
Right, the tree, as you're walking through the front gate to the right, that's hung up like this,
Yep.
there's no way for the tree. They tried to come around the backside of the residence that's there, they can't take it that way. Go through the, to where that tree is. So the tree that's fallen now, I think is a wood carry, the town can clean that up and put it in the woods, but the leaf that's up in the far right corner of the cemetery, we have to wait till that falls. The only other way was to get a climber up there, and it's probably not safe as well, so. Tree warden and public works department falls because of the way it looks like it's going to fall into the woods, without into the cemetery, cause any more damage to stuff. For safety.
We just cut down the tree that is,
There's 6 or 8 trees right in the area, and then we have to get in with the machine to be able to make sure everything falls the way it's supposed to. So
Okay, well,
they're thinking it's gonna fall sooner than later. Like you said, if we bring them back in at a later date, if Adam takes down that fence, or if Austin takes down the fence, and at that time we can get a larger piece of equipment in there, we can visit it at that situation. Just be careful with bringing a large piece of equipment in there. If it ever drives over partial of the cemetery or somebody's buried, it could do damage. Sometimes, like I said, I don't want to be negative, but sometimes you just gotta let Mother Nature.
yeah. That's no problem.
Willie from New York Fence did reach out. as he came out. Here's his idea of a fence to possibly put back up there. And I'm trying to get a price for you guys on what it's gonna cost.
Get back up.
If we're gonna pull the whole entire fence down that ledge, we're gonna replace that little section, it doesn't, right, make sense. So his idea was possibly something more, a little different weight, to spruce up the front of it, but, or the whole front of the cemetery.
Well, that was something I was gonna bring up. Fencing.
Currently, that's just what, chain link?
Yeah, they're all chain link. Christian Lane, I was thinking, all right, we're talking about the snake pit over here on Dunham because it's up. You don't wanna.
Snake rail.
Snake rail.
Yeah.
But we don't wanna,
I was getting nervous. That's okay.
Snake pit also.
because we don't wanna hide the stones. I was thinking, what if we put fiberglass fencing, took down like Christian Lane, the front, took down Beckley Road, the front, took down, put a little fence around Spruce Brook, Denison, take down the fence in the front, put a fiberglass, picket fence, and dress up the front of all these cemeteries.
That's an excellent idea.
World is yours.
I like the idea to keep it uniform. But it looks nice.
And there's no maintenance. I have this in my house. I put it outside of my property and have it in front of my walkway. You don't do anything to it.
That's
And
excellent.
it's very reasonable. When you talk to Willie, get a price on that.
Okay.
Does it only come in white, Charlie?
No, it also, I believe, comes in beige. But if you have, this cemetery on the corner of Kelsey Street and, in Wilmington, Kelsey and,
Willie Price.
Episcopal. Well, that's not Episcopal, it's Wilmington. Yeah, where Payne Road and Kelsey Street come together. Wilmington's got, next to the Jehovah's Witness Church.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful, and then Main Street, Millington, just across from the old movie theater. That cemetery there, that's all they have. And it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Snake rail would look pretty nice, but at some point that's gonna need, not gonna last forever. And I'm afraid it's gonna block. It's gonna be up on top of the cement wall.
Yeah.
So you're really gonna not be able to see some of the.
But would you rather do the picnic there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the fence that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fence, here's the fence at Kelsey Street. It's 160 feet in front of Dunham Cemetery. Right, that's the one in Norton, right? 60 feet.
That's 180. Got it.
The wall's 180.
The wall's 180, so Willie's price to do this fence at Dunham is $4,800.
With the fiberglass?
We have me quote that on September 23rd of 2019.
That's a lot of money. We gotta beat him up on that. There's no way. He's buying that stuff from Long Island where I used to get it when I worked at the sign shop. I think I paid for I had 8-foot sections with a post, a 4x4 post, and I think it was paying $7. 75. Of course, that was a few years ago.
But like I said, we can always reach out to other people and.
Yeah.
This is a good idea too, but
That's aluminum though. That's gonna be real expensive.
I think the uniformity, the white signage.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. But that's gonna take a big chunk of this.
We don't do them all 1 year.
Well,
Dunham,
we got
Dunham, we got money to do ourselves. So Dunham's off the table.
and the grant might take care
The
of
grant might take care of another one.
another one. So I think that's a good idea.
So we gotta get a price. What are we gonna go, 4 foot?
What's that one you showed?
But that's what I think that's like 48 to 42 inches.
Yeah. So we'll start getting some prices, like fence installers.
Now, who does that, Woody?
Well, Woody could contact him, right?
Yeah, I've got Willie's price. I mean, there's a couple of them you guys can reach out to.
You got some names?
I don't know what the fence company is.
Yeah, I'll get some names. There's
Yeah.
Hartford Fence does it.
What about the guy over here on the Brown Turnpike? Across from the bowling alley? Germano?
Oh, yeah, they're off.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to play something.
That's a good idea.
I'll go over there. I'll check. I'm not afraid. Okay, that's fencing. And then we do have this grant. Now, Vic, you were talking about there's a lot of restrictions on that?
You gotta read that.
There's,
When we got the one from our civil at that time, there was no restriction. Remember? As long as we spent it on one of the abandoned cemeteries. Get a copy of that.
it came, my wife printed it off, it came from, case of it. It's like 7 pages of
Nothing.
bureaucratic.
So what are you gonna have, a cemetery cop come around and see what we spend it on?
After the social, after the mass.
Okay, I'll read this
Yeah, I just thought
after I do my sock drawer.
but we've had, didn't we get a grant last year from them?
Yeah. For civil, it's getting, it's 3,500.
All right, so this is, well, everything is done separately. The only expenditures for the following 4 types of work will be reimbursed with reflected cemetery grant fund. Clearing of weeds, which is a little bit, mowing of the lawn, repairing of the grounds fences or walls, and strengthening memorial stones. I don't know if repairing the fences will qualify for new fences.
That's repaired. Replacing. Thank you.
We have to certify that. Exactly what the money is going.
I think so, yeah.
Money's not here
No,
then, not like the last time.
right. But
Is there a time limit to spend this?
some time limit as far as if you don't use it in a couple of years, then you don't want it or need it. I can reach out to Mahoney who applied for this. Ask him to see if replacing is.
That'd be great.
Okay, repeat exactly what they said it was for, repairs of.
So it's for clearing of weeds, briars, and bushes, mowing of the grounds lawn areas, repairing of the grounds fences or walls, and strengthening, mention straight, of the memorial stones.
I might make a recommendation that we use that in its entirety. Take care of that west wall at Dennison.
No, it has to be at ledge. That's
It
it.
has to be a ledge.
I think when we filed for
The
the
last
grant,
one was a ledge too.
I think when we filed for the grant, our lines were set on the bricks, 3 unit pillars. So like this could be used in conjunction with Austin, if we have to provide some type of monetary value to Austin, we would be able to use this towards it. So if it was resurrecting and fixing the brick pillars.
Yep.
Or resurrecting and fixing the gate going in, that all falls inside of this grant.
Yep.
So we have $3,300 that we could assist Austin
Yep.
within his Eagle Scout project, which we could reimburse by the state.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was earmarked for ledge.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. We won't tell us to know, so. Know what I mean?
So thinking outside the box, do you, but I would need to have everybody respond to me. I can send out an email tomorrow asking that we have to get our budget in and that we're gonna keep everything the same. Also put in $5,000 for fencing. What do you think?
An additional 5,000?
But
Okay.
everybody has to vote on it.
So they have to send an email to you.
So people have to respond to me and say yes,
Okay.
all right? And then at the December meeting, we'll reaffirm the.
Okay.
Great idea, with the contractual services, where I think the primary, most of our money is in, might be labor services. Just make sure that we didn't put fencing into that labor services, so we won't have it twice in the description of it.
Contractual services used for but not limited to cleaning, resurfacing, repair of damaged stones, walls and pillars. Will also need broken fences and removal of overground dead trees and bushes.
Okay, what do you suggest?
So will also be used to replace.
No, what Kate's suggestion is we would remove fencing from the labor services. And in our budget, my budget 45, we have an own fencing account. So you would have your labor services stay the same at say 20,000. You would add a new line item for next year's for 21, 22 for fencing. So we'd have a $5,000 fencing. We would strike out where it says repair fences and labor services and just
Add another,
new account.
okay.
Right, Kate?
Yep. Now, when you say that account, is that the account in your budget? That's not in here. What they have is supplies, operating materials, maintenance and repair, and contractual services.
Right, when you request that the account be added to the cemeteries, and like down the road, I'll send you my cemetery account number, so like 2345 will say is labor services, 2679 will be fences, so it'd be its own line item. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
I don't know why.
You had a quote from last year.
Because I know you.
And we work on this tomorrow. What do you think that?
I'll probably have it in less than 10 seconds.
All right, so we need to contact, you're gonna send an email tomorrow that's gonna require a gut free. So we need to call, we're gonna call and Steve to make sure that they. What, that's everyone, that's all, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I can let Charlie know. We do leave at 1 o'clock.
Dr. Simon? Simon?
This is for the cemetery committee right now.
Oh, is the planning and zoning meeting happening?
That's upstairs in the town council.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Yep, you need to go to town hall, so you have to, go outside the building and go around.
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
The fencing account number, Kate?
Not right now,
Okay.
but we can talk about it. I just want to make sure that whatever I'm supposed to put in their budget, I do it right.
Okay.
So do they take some money out of their budget, out of cemetery commission, put into yours so that you can use it?
No, leave it the same. Because I can pull a PO out of all of their, any account that they want to pull a PO out of. You or I, by sending the approval to Lisa, they can pull it, so we're good.
All right.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So, yeah, so we're gonna talk fencing, we're gonna get prices on fencing. Okay, what I would like to do is send a letter to the Dunham people, tell them what we've done so far with the money. And Kate, I took pictures, and I have them here on a zip file for you.
Okay.
I'll scratch a letter together tomorrow and email it to you. And if you could, put it on the town thing and all that, and I have no idea who it goes
Yeah,
to.
I can make it look pretty and everything.
And,
Yeah, it was the niece, so that's who you want to send it to, right?
Let's see, we spent $1,800 on the fence. Stevie, can you break down how much the trimming was? It's in here and it says saved pictures. And there's like 5 or 6 pictures of all the trimming, the new stone wall, the sign, all that, and then I'll scratch something together. But I know we spent $1,800 on the wall, and I forget if we had, were they 2 days in there trimming, Steve?
2 days in there, I wanna say it was like $4,800.
Well, we can find out how much is left in that money, what we started with, right? Okay,
Yes.
and then there should be POs drawn against it, right?
With the grant, I don't know how that works. I
That
can
was,
find out.
yeah, that was
Like.
they left us money. Two days of trimming, you said, for what, 4,800?
4,800.
You double check that for me? And sign, or we pay for the sign.
I can find out how much is still in that account.
Yeah, what we started with, and then I'll fudge the figures, make it.
Yep.
I also took the liberty of, putting the calendar dates together for next year's meetings.
Good, because I did the same thing.
Ah, I bet you they all come out the same,
I hope they do.
Thursdays and Thursdays, look at that.
How's that? We even almost look like the same.
You got it, yep.
Okay, but the problem with this, once again, you don't have a forum to add it to the agenda and to vote on it.
Right.
So we'll meet in December. At that point, you'll do it.
Okay.
All right, and I'll send this out when I send out notice for the agenda.
So if you can't do any business, does anybody else have anything?
I got a couple.
All right.
I think
Thank you.
of the Seventh Cemetery, clearly, Les Dennison, Christian Lane, and Beckley are going to require our majority of our time and money. I really want to concentrate on Dennison, that property between the riverbed and the bank. The bank. I think maybe Steve, you have your guys have the expertise. If we were able to wipe that, just clear that right out of it. And I know we talked about it. It's going to be required at the overreach of the river. But what could we put there? What would be a low yew or Sandra, myrtle, something that would preclude him, we don't want to create any erosion.
Right, that's what we were trying.
But something to dress that up, because you have that beautiful park. And then it's just horrible.
Mhm.
And of course, there's nothing we can do about water departments, snake pit of debris and equipment, and that would be nasty from the Mill Street side. But your idea of the fencing on Farmington Avenue, and with that, going to cleaned up to the use of the park. park. I think that would be the whole run. That's gonna require a lot of money. First request for Woody would be to get a price from,
Sanctum.
just go in there and I mean, Agent Orange, that break that out of there. I think that if there's one bush or one plant in the middle of the cemetery at Christian Lane that we looked at, growing up, about halfway down, it's fairly close to the northern fence. We could get that removed. Tree service for that, or your guys could do it. And what are we gonna do about the property on Beckley? Between the road and the fence that our town public, or the highway department to clean up for us and you know, okay. But if we don't maintain that once a month, you know, by August of next year, it's gonna be overgrown again. What can we do to keep that in check? If we're gonna put up a beautiful fence, then we're gonna have to make sure that the property between the road and that is gonna be maintained. Expect Carter's people to do that for us continually.
We spray it 2 or 3 times a year. We use a brush cutter and a roundup. That's what keeps it down at bay. And Tarp doesn't mind going in there once, twice a summer with Barry Spencer and buzzing it, and then we actually go in there with them, with other equipment, so it's not as labor intensive as you think.
Okay, all right,
You know,
that's good.
I know that gentleman next door, he was so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Did that. No kidding, oh my God, when I went to put flags in my school, really, he was. Thank you, thank me, if you wanna write a letter, write it to the superintendent of public grounds.
So you went up in there, the other day, after we had. The development just do that now.
Really?
That's what permits are gonna do. Cemetery and used to Eversource.
Right.
The north side. Handle that or go back off the road. Working there now. Anyway, so that would be, but if there's things that could take a look at that, Woody.
what I think would be a great idea is the guy you hired for Wilcox Cemetery, tree work, you liked him a lot. He was very recent. No, you didn't like him?
Philip?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he would, this is very good work, but I found the graver from Weathersfield, 1/2 the price.
Oh, okay.
So that's who did it?
Well, Pillow would refer to me, I would, we needed him in a gym. And they did good work, but it was pretty pricey. Then we had an issue with the neighbor. The pine went down and damaged their car. Association had to button up. Fuck up. There were 7 trees, including an enormous pine. The total was just under 10,000. Guy from Glastonbury was 8,900. And Graver was 3,250. He was out of there in one. We help you?
This is where the hearings gonna be?
No, it's upstairs in council chambers. Or,
You have to go back, out-
Hearing for zoning, where is it gonna be?
so you have to go back outside.
it's ready to. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. What's he doing? He's changing the name for one of his. companies out there. Right.
Garage?
Yeah. Automotive, you've got Mill Street, so the license. Well, that's good.
So let's set up a date with Granger.
Bruce Ritter.
I'm not saying the guy that Distinct doesn't do a great job, but I'm saying there's other ones out there that might give us a better price.
I thought we had a deal with Distinctive that they gave us the,
We have a contract, so what it is, we have a contractual price with them. So which we go over $10,000 a year, we don't have to go back to council and ask for a bid waiver. So we could spend over 10,000 like we did for the first couple of years, spending all that money with them. What we would have had to have done is use multiple free companies or gone to do it. So Distinctive's already been bid through the town's protocol. But if we went to Granger and say Granger came in and say, listen, Dick, I can do this whole project for $6,300, we could then have the PO approved for $6,300. We can always, right, we can always go with whoever gives us the best price. We're not locked in.
right, and if we're gonna do that, then what we're gonna need to do, we're gonna have to, well, not me, you, John. Yeah, we're gonna spray the trees that we wanna have removed. Put the leaves on, it should be fairly accessible to get in there and to know exactly what we wanna have clear cut. So that I can give somebody very
Type in ribbon on them or surveyor ribbon on them just because it looks a little cleaner. We can always pull it off. The birds can use it to the buttons.
You can't avoid somebody who's in there with a trail. So that, yeah, that, if you can do that, I'll be happy to. Kate, question for you. Huddersfield. Do you have any information at all? What do you suggest? A couple of questions. Charles went down today, as you know, we have 15 names, beginning in 1961, ending in 84. What do you struggle to me about a family that's trying to track down somebody that was buried in Berlin in 1895? They thought it was Potter's Field. Where do we find records for that?
I honestly don't. I'm not trying to be, I don't have them. The town was doing it, then it used to be, I thought, there was records with whoever did the cemeteries before this whole. And I thought that person had some records, but we've never been able to find them. No idea about it.
That's fine.
Yes.
Go on around, back up the walkway, right through the front door, and then they'll guide you from that. Yeah, it's upstairs. Thank you.
What, how would we approach the situation if we had a request for a burial at Potter's Field?
I don't think I've been buried there since my time here.
64 was the last time somebody was buried there.
No, 80,
84.
80.
I mean, I honestly don't know, Dick. For the most part, from what I understand currently, that there's no money to do cremation. I might be wrong on that. Maybe somebody would be, opposed to being cremated. Don't want to do it.
I thought this might have been an issue when that homeless woman was killed.
She had a family in Middletown.
But, the homeless population will is increasing. Not necessarily homeless, but those that are staying in hotels that, are day to day or week to week and that have no assets. I wouldn't be surprised if we get requests, or funeral home is gonna undertake,
Any
charitable.
death certificate, they're cremated. Less expensive. They somewhat. No. And that's unfortunate. There's a lot of people out there that don't have the support, you know, that a lot of us are lucky enough to have.
Actually, there was an article in the paper today, I don't know, about a fellow and his wife bought some property in western Connecticut.
Oh,
It's gonna be called Memorial Park.
trees.
And, people are gonna buy the right to be cremated and have their ashes spread amongst trees. Have a tree.
No, you're gonna buy a tree
A tree plant.
for $4,900 that's there, and they're gonna put a plaque up and sprinkle your ashes in. He's got it in 4 other states already.
The 3 other states, I think. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways the burials are, we're reshaping this whole industry. And actually, there's one cemetery in Danbury that does green burials only. Mommy, a vault, casket. That goes right into the ground. Permitted tonight. Condition of dirt and more than 300 feet from a non-public water supply. That's all I had. I'm not sure, I don't know who would have been responsible in the town back 100 years ago for this stuff. It would have been the highway department.
I would think that a funeral home probably donated the services to an indigenous person. And somebody, you know, it wasn't like there was one every week. Those 15 were spread out over 100 years. And some local contractor probably donated the whole, you know. It was, you know, Potter's Fields where they were wooden caskets, all that stuff. And now, like you say, like Kate just said, the best way to do it is you know, $99.99, you get cremated.
Right next to
Christian Lane.
all right, Tom. There we have it. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
You have anything else?
Willie just got back to me on the black fence that I gave you, the aluminum fence.
Yeah.
It's $23 a foot install.
That's just right there.
Yep.
And 4 feet high? I believe so.
Is that powder coated or is that? Understand.
Next time I see him, I'll ask him. Or I can probably Google the website.
You said 23 per foot.
$23 per foot install. Which in his numbers is already cheaper than the white line.
Could we do that in white?
I'll look up the website and get back to you guys on the next meeting.
Oh, that would be obviously great.
The fence? I don't know. I'll look and talk to him and then I'll get back to you guys.
That's black or gray?
$4,140 for 180 feet.
How does that compare with,
I don't know. Gotta get some prices.
what he gave us the number?
I don't.
Close to that. One call. I think she's now at 3,500. She donated, brought the last batch over to Rocky Hill Monday. Got 154 to the veteran for Rocky Hill.
And amazing.
You can't, there's no words to describe her. I've tried, I've cajoled, I want to buy her material, I want to give her it. And my sister offered her a lake house for a weekend. She won't take anything. Anything. She sits at that zone, and she's 7 days a week.
That's unbelievable.
She,
You know, the town's very grateful to her because
she's an angel.
when we didn't know what was going on, we were able to do it.
She's an angel, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, well, our next meeting will be Thursday, December 17th at 6 o'clock. Place to be determined.
Okay,
All right,
Thank
so-
you all for coming.
Thank you, Kate. We'll wait to get that email in the morning.
yep, don't wait. I mean, the thing is that I have other jobs. But I'll get it out to you as soon as I can.
And whatever job she has scheduled for tomorrow is not gonna happen.
Friday, she only got half a day, so she gotta do the window.
Okay, so adjournment was at 7:05.
Yes.
Well, everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. It was nice seeing you all.
Thank you.
So